14-year-old Myra Collins absolutely hated sleeping in the dark. So, of course, the light switch in her new room was broken. Every single night, as soon as the sun went down, her room was plunged into this deep, inky shadow. On her very first night, she felt it. Something was off. It started with a soft sound, breathing, and it was coming from under her bed. She froze, every muscle in her body tensing up. It wasn't a mouse, she told herself. It wasn't the old house settling. This was the rhythmic, soft sound of someone breathing. With her heart pounding against her ribs, she slowly, so slowly, hung her head over the edge of the bed, peering into the suffocating darkness below. But before she could even focus her eyes, a girl's whisper echoed up from the blackness. "Don't look at me," Myra screamed. A raw, terrified sound. She scrambled back, pulling her legs up to her chest. Her mother rushed in, flipping on a bedside lamp, flooding the room with a warm glow. She looked under the bed. Of course, there was nothing there, just dust bunnies and an old sock. Her mum brushed it off as a nightmare, a product of moving into a new, strange house. But the whisper came again the next night. And the night after that, always the same chilling words, "Don't look at me." Sleep became impossible for Myra. She would lie awake for hours, curled into a tight ball under her blankets, shaking uncontrollably. Soon the whispers were joined by soft, heartbreaking sobs that seemed to seep out from the floorboards. She couldn't take it anymore. One evening, she found her mother in the kitchen and asked, her voice trembling, "Did someone die in this room?" Her mother's face went pale. She hesitated, then sighed. "Honey, it's just an old town legend. They say a long time ago, a little girl used to live here during a house fire. She hid under the bed in this room, but she never made it out." That night, Myra knew she had to do something. The terror was eating her alive. As always, she waited in the dark, her ears straining. And then it came, a fragile, ghostly whisper, "Don't look at me." Her heart hammered like a drum solo against her ribs. But this time, instead of screaming, she found a sliver of courage. She whispered back into the darkness, "Why?" The room fell silent, an unnerving, heavy silence that felt even worse than the breathing. Then the voice returned, closer this time, laced with a strange sadness. "Because if you see me, you'll stay with me." Mira pulled her legs tighter to her chest, tears welling in her eyes. Stay with her. What did that even mean? Fear screamed at her to hide, to pull the covers over her head and wait for morning. But a morbid curiosity, a desperate need to know, won the battle. She fumbled for her phone on the nightstand, her fingers shaking as she turned on the flashlight. Taking a deep, shuddering breath, she leaned over the edge of the bed and pointed the bright beam into the darkness below, and she saw her, a skinny girl, crouched in the shadows like a frightened animal. Her skin was blistered and burnt. Her face was blackened with smoke and soot, and her eyes, they were just empty, hollow sockets. But the worst part, the part that made Myra's blood run cold, was that the girl was staring directly at her, and she smiled. a slow, chilling smile that didn't reach her vacant eyes. With a sound like cracking branches, the girl began to crawl out from under the bed. Myra scrambled backwards, her back hitting the cold wall. She couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't look away. The ghost whispered, her voice now right beside Mira's ear. Now you looked. Now you stay. Mira finally found her voice and screamed. Her mother burst in, flipping the main light switch, which miraculously flickered to life. The ghost vanished in the sudden brightness. But when Myra, sobbing, looked down at the floor, the wood under her bed was blackened, scorched. A faint wisp of smoke curled into the air, and carved into the burnt planks was a message. I'm waiting. Tonight. Mira did everything she could to stay awake. She drank coffee, splashed her face with cold water, pinched her arms. But exhaustion is a powerful force. Eventually, her eyelids grew heavy, and she drifted off. She woke with a start. The digital clock on her nightstand glowed 3:03 a.m. The whisper came again, but it wasn't from under the bed this time. It was from right behind her, a cold breath on the back of her neck. Now it's your turn to hide. The next morning, Mira's mother found the room empty. The bed was neatly made, but Mira was gone. She called her name, her voice echoing in the silent house. With a dawning sense of dread, she got on her hands and knees and looked under the bed. The ghost girl was gone. In her place, curled up in the dusty darkness, was Mira. Her eyes were wide open, staring into nothing. Frozen, as if something had stolen her very last breath. And on the wall beside the bed, written in a fine layer of ash, were 3 words. DONT. Look at me. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to like and subscribe for more chilling tales. See you next time.